Liquor Talk, a brand new episode starts now. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Liquor Talk podcast. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for pouring up with us. Whether you pour up with us on tuning in while you tune on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or you watching this on YouTube, go ahead and get some rum for your boy for this episode. And go ahead as we kick off the month of June. Hard to believe we are already in the month of June. But nevertheless, my guest today, she is the host of the It Starts With You podcast, podcasting out of California. It's Miss Anna Yu. How you doing, Anna? And welcome to Liquor Talk. And thank you, Podmatch, for bringing me today's guest. How you doing today, Anna?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm blessed. Always fun to get on the mic with somebody new. Beautiful thing about podcasting is you connect with people in different places. Like I said, I'm here in Florida. You're here in California. I've been to your part of California. I want to come back because it's amazing. But nevertheless, let's talk to you. Tell us about your podcast. It starts with you.
So it starts with you is a wellness for dating culture podcast. And I was kind of thinking like there is an organization and support group for like things like Alcoholics Anonymous and mental health groups and things like that. But there isn't necessarily a support system or an organization for dating, like in general. And um, I kind of thought, well, maybe like we could have like a podcast where we can talk about like um, the problems that we run into when we do go into relationships or like um, help people solve relationship problems. And like I know it sounds kind of cliche, but like a lot of times like these are some problems that like don't often get resolved because like who are we going to talk to when we have these kind of situations?
You're right. I definitely I feel that because if there was some kind of anonymous, some kind of help for dating, I would sign up in a freaking heartbeat. I would sign up like it's tomorrow because dating out here is tough for. And one thing I've learned through podcasting, it's tough on everybody.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like it's I mean, like there have been like entrepreneurs that come on the podcast. There have been like just artists, musicians that come on the podcast. Like it's not just like, um me, that's struggling, it's everybody. Every demographic like they need help or like we need help. So,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
We all need help. So, and I understand you had a modeling career. So, what inspired you to start this podcast? Based on the fact that I know you had the modeling career stuff. So, what inspired you? What was your biggest inspiration for starting this podcast?
So initially what um got me started was I heard some of my friends just kind of like telling me casually like like dating in LA really sucks. And like in my head I was just kind of thinking like, well, I mean, isn't there like a solution to this? But like in the back of my mind I was just kind of like starting to hear this like over and over again. Like it wasn't just like um one time I had heard it, like I had started to hear it like over and over again, like at different parties and different situations. And like I was just starting to think like maybe like there's something I can do about this, like um and I just started writing down like what are some things that people or myself can start to do better, like as a human being, not just like, oh, open the door for somebody, like not just like those kind of things. Like it's like as a person, like what are like some things that we can do like as a to become a better human being, and then Like it just kind of started from there. I just started journaling. And then I was like, well, maybe we can actually talk about this with each other. And then like it just became like a journaling thing at first. And then I was like, why don't people actually talk about this? And then I started thinking, well, why can't we like turn this into a podcast? So that's how the ideas started coming in. So yeah.
Wow, that's real amazing that you came up with this. And newsflash, it's not just LA. It's the dating struggle everywhere. I don't know if you've noticed that in your time in podcasting, where it's not just because I know LA is big as hell. I know I've been for a visit. I got stuck in LA traffic like every day I was out there, so I know how big LA is. But did you ever? At what point did you realize that it's not just a LA problem; it's a everywhere problem?
Um, well, I mean, like I actually did do an interview when I was in Miami too. Like I interviewed like one of my friends there, and then I asked them like, so how is the dating culture in Miami? And then like they did tell me like um it it has its like pros and cons, like, and yeah, so I do know it's not just LA. Yeah.
So hold on, what was the pro that somebody in Miami said? What was this pro? Because I'm trying to find the pros of dating, and I'm like 4 hours away from Miami. So what was this pro that they said in dating?
Well, they did tell me that there are a lot of people who have like a entrepreneurial spirit, like that come to the Miami and Brickell area, to focus on like those kind of things. But it could be just a certain area that he's talking about because I don't live in Miami, so I don't know like specifics, but I just know from what they've told me. But yeah, that's what I've heard. So
Yeah, like I said, I don't live in Miami. I've been to Miami a few times, and I know what area he's talking about because I had plenty of college friends come from that area. So, and that area is like right by downtown Miami, and it's always like very progressive because it's like full of millennials and Gen Zers. So, but it is what it is. So what's some I'm sorry. My thought coming to me, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. What is something you wish you would have known about podcasting before you got started?
wait, could you repeat the question?
Sorry about that. What is something you wish you would have known about podcasting before you got started?
Um, I guess like one thing I wish I had known about podcasting is um there are a lot of opportunities, and like I think that I I don't really like I feel like I do take a lot of things for granted when I do go on the podcast at sometimes. Like I do feel like um yeah, I don't know. Like that's what I think. I do think that podcasting gives a lot of opportunities um to extend your network. Yeah.
That is true. Podcasting, it is the definite opportunity to extend your network. You'll find yourself doing shows with people in different cities, different countries. You just got to be open to it. That's why I tell everybody that's getting started in it, always be open to the opportunities and always be open to networking outside of your hometown or wherever you're based at, because the people where you're based at, they're good, but they're not going to come out and support. They're not going to come out and show up for you. So some will, but not a lot of them will. But main people that show up for you are the people that are like thousands of miles away or in, completely different places. Now, checking out your last episode, which was, I believe you had a guy named Philip Batello on. Um, he talked about relationships in the entertainment industry. How do they do that? Because I was always taught you don't mess where you don't eat. Because for some people, the entertainment industry is their bread and butter, is how they make money. So why would they want to risk jeopardizing their opportunities by trying to date somebody in that line of work?
Um, like I haven't questioned it too much, because like, you know, he's dating who he wants to date, like so I mean like um that's it is what it is. Like, I mean, like it's not harming me, and I feel like he's doing well, and like that's good for him. Like, I mean, I wish him the best in his relationship, you know? So,
Yeah,
like,
understood, understood. We wish everybody the best in their relationship. So now, through your first few
yeah.
episodes, what have you learned about relationships that you didn't know already?
Let's see. I think like I've learned a lot on like how to like communicate better in a relationship, I think. Um I feel like I was more of like a silent treatment person, and like I wasn't really much of a let's talk through this, like, and sitting down and actually talking through disagreement, because I don't know, like I just was more of a I just want to walk away kind of person. But as I talked to more people, and like um started to understand both sides, like I I think I started to communicate more, and I think that's really helped, at least for me. And I've learned that communication is key.
Yes. Communication is definitely key. That's one of the biggest things I've learned in my time with podcasts and with other people. Whenever relationships have come up, they always said the same thing. You got to communicate no matter what. Because I was like you. I always took the silent treatment because it's always my head. It's like, is this really worth my time? Is it worth me to fight with this person? Because it's like you could say something and it'll go right over the person's head. They might not understand where you're
Yeah.
coming from. So that's how I took it. But then when I look back at my previous relationships, I said to myself, I probably should have just gone off and spoke my mind. It's like, what's the worst that can happen?
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with you.
So, but ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. Remember, the more you drink, the better we sound. Get that liquor poured up. Shout out to Podmatch for providing this guest and providing a lot of guests for season 8. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. Go ahead and tell us what you think, whether you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or if you see this as a clip on YouTube or TikTok. Go ahead and tell us what you think about this communication relationships. Now, Anna, what is your favorite thing to drink when you're going out? Like whether you're going out on a date or you night out with your girls, what's the favorite thing you like to get from a bar?
Um, well, let's just say like I actually don't drink. So, I
Ain't no
would
problem with
ask.
that. Ain't no problem. It's no problem with that. We have mocktails too because I know a lot of people they are into mocktails as well, and some of the mocktails be hitting though. So it is what it is. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem with nobody that don't drink.
But I mean, like, okay, so what I actually do is like I ask for like a sparkling water, and like I add like a little lime on it, so it looks like I'm drinking. So like when no, I'm serious. And so like when I go to like a bar and stuff, I hold that sparkling water and I'm walking around, it looks like I have like a cup of vodka or something, right? In my hand, but I really just have like a sparkling water. And like people are just like falling over and like they're getting drunk and stuff, but I'm like just calm and like, normal. And so
You
that's
know
I
that
mean,
I
yeah.
feel on that. I've actually done that too. The times where I had to be the designated driver, so I got like a little Sprite in my hand, and I'm just watching people fall over, people slurring their words, people drunk they can barely walk because they so drunk. I've had to carry people out of the club because they were so drunk. So I feel you on that. So I trust me, I've seen it happen before. I know where you're coming from, and I don't know sometimes it's fun, but then sometimes you're like, why the hell I gotta be their daddy? God damn. Or for you be their damn mama. I'm like, why I gotta babysit these people?
I mean, I'm just trying to take care of my skin, okay? Like, I mean, like it's just like you can't have like nice skin without like not having like that much sugar.
I mean, moderation is key, and also moderation and detoxing as well. Those are some major keys as well. Like because a lot of people they don't do that. It's like, yeah, you can have it, but everything in moderation, and also you gotta take care of yourself. Got to wash your face every day. You gotta skill do to have a skincare routine. Because hey, as a man, I know that as well, and because I've had people put me up on games, so I totally feel that. So what? So why do you feel like you are so passionate about talking about this, talking about the dating scene, and coming up with solutions for dating on your podcast?
Well, like I said, I feel like I've been hearing about it a lot. Like I've been hearing like a lot of people around me just hear tell me like how bad dating culture has been getting. And like that in itself, I feel like has bothered me a little bit in some way. And I think that I know like I'm not like a therapist or anything like that, but at the same time, like it just makes me feel like I want to do something. Um and like I feel like creating a podcast or like an organization where people can come together and talk about it um could help because um having all of this stuff inside where like people can't talk about it and like holding it in, like I think it creates an illness, like and in theory like it does, like people have had illnesses when they are not able to talk about things. So I think that like being able to talk about things like this, like it helps people. Like even if it's like um just like friends that they don't necessarily know that well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we all need that because it's also an illness, and also it prevents you from getting out there as well because it's like you're thinking you're getting inside of your head because you're thinking about the past circumstances and what happened and the
Yeah.
outcomes, and sometimes you may just need that person to tell you to talk it over with and then game plan from what went wrong, what went right, and what can you do better because at the end of the day. All we can control is ourselves. We can't control whatever person comes in our lives. We can't control them. And if they don't, you gotta look at it as they are a stupid idiot for passing you up. So, and I feel like not a lot of people do that because a lot of people, I feel like they will beat themselves up for why a relationship didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that you're exactly right.
Yeah, and it's like, and you can't beat yourself up over why a relationship doesn't work because at the end of the day, you got to know that you did everything you could possibly do. Now, if you did everything you could do and it didn't work, well, you got to just wipe your hands off and keep moving because life is too short out here. And I definitely agree with you. We need that source of where people can come to and talk as well because maybe it'll cut down on people who might want to off themselves because people have thought of self harm because of certain relationships that don't work, which I find is alarming, but it happens.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Mm.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Liquor Talk. Go ahead and pour up that liquor if you haven't done so as well. So, from your personal experiences, what has the best thing for been for you? Like, say a relationship didn't work out. What is something you've done to recover and help yourself? Because sometimes you can't look for outside help if you can't help yourself.
Um, well, I like to write, or I like to just go out and hang out with friends, like, and um, party. Go out and party. But you know, have fun. Have as much fun as possible. Um, but of course, there could be boundaries. That sounds like such a contradiction, but
Yeah, I know it is. It is, but hey, we all have to have boundaries, because we can all have our limits and stuff. So I get it. So recover from your first heartbreak. Is that how you just got over it? Just going out and party with your homegirls or party with friends? Is that how you just got over your first heartbreak?
I feel like yeah, actually, well, there was a lot more working out too. There was a lot more like going to the gym and like, self-care involved too as well.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Because you'll be in the gym a lot, and then you'll start doing a lot of self care stuff once that break happens. Because you want to glow up, you want to show this person what they're missing out on. So,
Yeah. I mean, like a new haircut, like yeah.
hmm definitely a new haircut. Definitely make yourself look good. Definitely
Mhm.
upgrading your life and try to elevate your life as well, and not surrounding yourself by people who remind you of that person, or surrounding yourself with people who bring you down. So, definitely. So, what are some tips? Because since everybody's saying the dating pool is trash, the dating pool is this, what are your thoughts? Because I know you got some thoughts about hearing everybody saying it feels like everybody says that on social media. The dating pool is this, the dating pool is that. Whether you hear about it on social media or whether you go out in person. So, what are your thoughts?
Um, I feel like it depends on the environment that you're in. Like I feel um like if you go to the library or something, or if you go to church, or like if you surround yourself in a certain environment, like um there's going to be like people there that fit that environment, right? So like it's just kind of like it depends on like who you surround yourself with, you know?
So, is that like one of the major keys is changing your surroundings and for a different outcome? Because I don't know how you tell a group of people that when all they like to do is go out to have brunch or go out to the clubs and stuff. I'm like, well, you gotta know what you're going to get yourself into. But a lot of those people, they don't listen.
I mean, like eventually when they're older, they'll be like, "Oh shit, I only have cats." So,
You would think that, but I've dealt with some older people, and the older people they just as idiots as the younger people. I'm like, you know what? It's something ain't right here, because you got older people with the mindsets of younger people. I'm like, sir, ma'am, you are in your 40s and you're not acting like it.
I feel like at that point it's just social media. Like I feel like maybe it's just the stuff they're listening to or watching, or I don't know. Like it could be that too, but I don't know. It's just hypothetical, you know?
Yeah. So, what is a solution that you've told people that hey that they need to look into? what's some solutions for the dating pool that you've come up with? Besides the fact, I agree with you. We need to have group therapy. You know, you need to have like some kind of organization where people can call into that don't charge an arm and a leg. Because yeah, you can tell them to go to therapy, but therapy be like $200 an hour, and I'm like, in
Yeah,
this economy, I don't know too many people who have like $200 just sitting around to go talk to a therapist a week.
yeah. Um, I mean, like, I feel like it could just be like I said, like the people and like the environment that we hang around in. Like, change your surroundings and change like who you are.
Yeah.
I think that was the quote. I think that was a quote, something like that.
Now, in change your surroundings, I get that. Now, to the people that struggle with online dating, what are your tips for them? Because online dating is a nightmare as well. Because one person will look one way in their photos and stuff, but then you FaceTime them, you're like, "Who the hell is this?"
Um, I actually had like a similar conversation with one of my friends earlier today. So like she was telling me about like how she would FaceTime this guy like on a for like a dating app, and like he looked nothing like the photos that he had posted on the dating app. And yeah, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, trust me, it's happened to us too. Because I've seen ladies have like a whole different model on her profile, but then you FaceTime, you're like, "Ma'am, you don't look like this." And then some people don't know how to embrace their natural beauty. Like I'm like, you gotta embrace it. You don't have to put up somebody else because you're beautiful just the way you are. Somebody gonna find you attractive.
Yeah.
So what kind of tips you got for the people when it comes to online dating?
I mean, I think it's better to meet people in person. Like if you have time for that, maybe go to like a lot of like networking events. Like when I started going to networking events, like you first of all you get to see people in person, and then like you don't necessarily have to drink, and you get to see their personality, and you know that they're there for like business related things or things that you might be interested in as well. So like those are pretty good qualities. So
Yeah, I definitely agree. Going to networking events as well. Plus, if you have a brand, you never know. Just go out there, talk to people, and make the connections. You just never know. Somebody might be willing to help you, and also you never know. You might be able to bump into that someone as well. So you just never know. So I definitely agree. Go to networking events. Pull up to different events and stuff. So I definitely agree. So what you got planned for your podcast for the rest of 2025?
um I think like continue to like network and like build the brand. And like right now we're continuing to like build or build a podcast. So like um yeah, so we're working on the podcast right now.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, June is Father's Day. June is Father's Day month. So, what is something you want to say to your dad? If your dad is listening, what's something you want to tell your dad, or you want to tell to all dads out there?
Um well, actually I am working on my dad's documentary. Like I'm like writing like a story about my dad. Um and there are some things that no one actually really knows about him um in there. But I think that as a daughter, as an only child daughter, um, I haven't really told him that, um, like, I really cared about him as much and as often as I probably should. Um, and yeah.
Wow. Wow. A shout out to you creating a documentary on your dad. That is amazing. I'm pretty sure dad is going to love that when it drops, when it comes out. So when is that expected to come out?
I'm still writing it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just know we will. When once you drop it, we'll have some support for you, and somebody definitely I'll help you out. Definitely support you any way possible. So, lastly, you got a wonderful podcast that you're just now getting started. Tell the people why they need to subscribe to the It Starts With You podcast.
So, you can subscribe to our It Starts With You podcast. At It Starts With You, which is YOO. Um, and it's a wellness for dating culture podcast. And we support your relationships. And we're here for all of your uh, wellness for dating culture needs. And as always, it starts with you.
All right, that's wonderful. Thank you, Anna, for joining the Blessing of the Liquor Talk with your presence. Whenever you need me to come on your platform and speak about relationships from the Black perspective, I might be in Florida, but I am just one DM away. I'm ready to work. We can make this thing happen, and I will be coming out to Los Angeles sooner or later. I'll definitely let you know when we could definitely link up so I can return the favor, bless your podcast with my presence. And whenever you want to link up again, you just let me know. Once again, thank you for joining the Liquor Talk, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you, Victor.
And thank you, listeners, to listen to this edition of the Liquor Talk podcast. Go ahead and tell us what you think or what your thoughts about dating. I'm probably going to do some more podcasts about dating in the coming weeks as well, so just stay tuned for that. Stay tuned on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and thank you, Podmatch, for providing this guest to me as well. There'll be some more guests coming from Podmatch as well. Until the next episode, keep pouring that liquor and keep moving, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.